Why, hello there. Okay. So, it's been a couple of months since the last video I uploaded. Probably. Um, so, there's a reason for that. Um, I've been really busy, and I was ill for like a week, and I got a new computer. Yeah, new computer. It's really quite fun. Um, and that also delayed me by like a week because all my programs got deleted and yeah. Um, so that's also why it's delayed. Um, and I'm totally not trying to think of more excuses right now. No, that's not what's happening. But yeah, it I suppose that in contrast to other times that I've had a gap of videos, it's not that bad. Like it's only a couple of months. It's not like a year or anything. Um, so yeah, it could be worse. Yeah, I'm gonna go right back. I'm gonna start making some videos. I do first need to kind of like make an area because I want to kind of explain why I've been gone to some degree. So I think I should probably like instead of doing that in my classroom-esque thing, I think I should first like kind of make just a random pit in the middle of nowhere. So I first need to terraform an entire area and then also add some like nice greenery and stuff. Then I need to make just the pits that I can come out of, and then in order to stall, I think I should probably I don't know make some really way too cool fog effect, and then I don't know like make a 3D modeled ladder purely because that's needed. But after that, I'll be right with you. Okay, yeah. Alright, so I built the whole area, and it's all quite nice. Really cool fog effect. But yeah, what I've decided this video to be about is my custom bossbars method, which, sounds complicated, but basically it's a boss bar with a super cool decoration around it. Admittedly, this does not have the same target audience as the other two videos that I've uploaded for tutorials. But yeah, that's what you gonna do? Yeah, these bossbars are pretty cool. So if you're a Datapack creator, then you'll obviously find these interesting because well, who hasn't made a boss in their time? And you can make it have things move and stuff, and it's really quite nice. And yeah, it's really quite customizable. But yeah, I'll explain the technique behind it. I'll give a cool link in the description to a template that you can download. And I'll also explain how the template works. So yeah, that's basically that. So I hope you will enjoy, and I'll get into something slightly more logical than yeah, this outfit. Because well, it's slightly degraded over the months. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoy it, and I'll be in my wardrobe really quickly. All right. Okay, so I've got my brand new outfit on. Yeah, quite nice, quite nice. Took quite a bit of work, which is totally not why this is also later. But yeah, it's fine. Okay, so onto the actual boss bars, right? Yes, okay. So how boss bars work is obviously with layers. You all already know that. You might not realize you know that, but you already know that. Basically, if you have the background of a boss bar, right? For instance, like an end dragon, then you see the health of the boss in front of the background. That's one thing have a more importance over the other thing. And I just call it layers, okay? So yeah, that's basically just how it works. It's just layers, one thing in front of the other. Simple. So first of all, you have the background, as I already showed a bit ago, but I'll show it again. And then you have the health, of course. Then you have a thing called the style, which I don't think is actually used by the game itself generally, but Datapacks can make use out of them, and that's really nice to add some variety to your boss bar, and it actually adds a lot, even with my custom boss bar method, which I'll get into in a bit. And after all those things, what you have on top of that is the name. Now, this might not seem like a big deal to you, because, like, why does it matter that the name is in front of the boss bar? It never overlaps. Like, why does that matter? And now that, you know, when you say it never overlaps, you are actually mistaken. Well, because with a resource pack, you can add a custom font, which adds a custom character, which can be any texture whatsoever, and you can move it down as much as you want. So, what you can do is you can create a custom texture which overlaps perfectly over a boss bar, right? And then you know, you can add decorations around the boss bar, and you can change the color of the boss bar ever so slightly by having a slightly transparent texture overlap over the boss bar itself. And that then causes, obviously, the boss bar to be different. So, for instance, if I put that on the screen again, the thing right there, right? That's not actually the normal red. The normal red is slightly different. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, you can't do an infinite amount of work with it. Which is why you might still want to replace the vanilla textures. But that would then ruin other people's, you know, data packs that use this method. But yeah, you can actually do quite a lot with this. And it's really quite nice. But yeah, with that basically being the whole explanation, you know, let's get going on the actual code, right? Alright, so before I'm going to be making my super duper cool custom boss bar with the resource pack, I first want to have the boss bar itself that I can test it out on. So for that, first of all, we're going to have to make the boss bar itself with this command, which I can totally see on the screen right now. And also all of these commands will be in a paste bin down in the description. You can just go to the paste bin and then copy them. Do change namespace to be your namespace, so the name of your project basically, or your name if you want to, you know, do it that way. But yeah, just change namespace. Yeah, now that you've made your, you know, boss bar, you need to actually make it visible. So for that you run this command, right? Okay. So now you see the super duper cool test bar up there. Now it is a bit, you know, odd that it doesn't have any value, so just for testing, let's just say that value is 50. And there we go, now it's halfway. And the style is, let's just say this one, right? Okay, there we go. Super duper cool boss bar. And that's basically all we need, right? Because now we have a boss bar that we can use as background. Yeah, the like button boss bar that I made, that actually needed a blue background. Because otherwise, well, the end colors is going to be different. So let's actually make it blue. Using this command. And now it's blue. The text isn't blue, but that doesn't really matter, seeing as, well, the text isn't gonna stick around because we're making a whole custom character for the text, so the text is gonna not exist. But yeah, that's basically that. Now our testing boss bar is done, and we can simply, you know, add a font, add a custom character in the font, and then make it do the thing. Alright, so in order to actually do some work on the resource pack, we need to first have a resource pack. So just quickly go to options, resource packs, and open the pack folder. And that will open just a file folder thingy. And you should put the resource pack starting point in there. So you can find the resource pack starting point in the video description down below, and then you just copy it over there and make sure it's not a zip file. If it's a zip file, then you should, you know, extract it and logical stuff, right? Alright, so now let's actually get going on the resource pack. Alright, so this is the template that you're probably already gonna have downloaded. If you haven't, well, you just go to the description real quickly. Just download it. Simple. So you've got the super cool thingy downloaded. So, you know, basically this is obviously your resource packs folder that I pointed out earlier. And you just have that, you know, right here. So you can see you just have your list of folders right here, in which you don't have that. So yeah, that's basically just that. That's all you really need, right? Then from this point, what I want to do is really quickly open with code, which is what I advise you all to also do. Not not 100% necessary, right? So yeah, once you open that, you can see that I have Visual Studio Code, really nice code editor. And you can see that this file is completely using syntax highlighting, meaning you can see that these bits are blue and these bits are orange. Woohoo! That's literally it, really. But it's still quite nice. Yeah, basically, you have a .json file and you have a .png file. Which is, you know, it's cool. Yeah, this PNG file is obviously the overlay, right? And well, this file is the interesting one, right? So yeah, this is the one that takes a good bit of work because you need to actually get this right, and this is the thing that you're gonna be altering and making look good. And this is just the thing that adds it in, right? So what it says is, first of all, you have providers, which has an array. So it has a list of characters in this custom font, right? Then each one of these characters specifies what type it is, and this is going to say bitmap, which basically means, hey, use an image, right? The image is going to be my character. Then the file is going to say, well, where is my image? Well, it is in the namespace command school, which is this right here. Then you have the folder GUI, right there. Then you have the folder bossbar, right there. And then you have template.png, which is this file. And that's basically it. Then you have ascend, which is how much the image should be going up. Then you have the height, which is how high the image is. It's pretty self-explanatory. Do note that ascend cannot be bigger than height. It can be significantly lower, including into the negatives, so you can move it down. So it's quite cool. And then you have chars, which is which characters should it be replacing, right? So yeah, here I just say \UFFF1, which is a Unicode character, right? And this just refers to a character which I think isn't used by Minecraft normally. I don't know what it actually is. But yeah, like you can technically also, for instance, say H here, and then you replace the character H. But, you know, this is significantly easier. So yeah, but these 4 digits are using the hexadecimal thingy, so that each one of these has to be anywhere from 0 to F. So it can be 0, it can be all the way to 9, and then you can have A, right? B, C, D, E, F. So each one of these has 16 options, which, you know, 16 times 16 times 16 times 16, you can have a lot of boss bars, right? But yeah, for the moment I'll just stick with FFF1. Okay. But yeah, now that you've put this into your Resourcepack folder correctly, you're kind of already done, right? Now, you do need to do one very, very important thing, which is rename this. Because right now it's called Command School. That's not gonna stay. So this is your name, like either your name or the name of your project or anything like that. So just because if someone else also has Command School, then their boss bar is going to, like, their list of boss bars is going to conflict with yours. So this could, you know, be like, hi, I am cool. Purposefully all lowercase. If it's not lowercase, you're gonna have an issue. Yeah, for the sake of this tutorial, I'll keep it at this value because no one else is going to be named me, right? And that's just my title for my Datapack, slash Resourcepack in this case, mostly. And no one else is going to have that. Yeah, once you rename this file, obviously your file path will also change. So this namespace should then also be hi, I am cool, all lowercase. Because if you don't, then, well, you know, you're gonna have issues. Okay, yeah, with that all said and done, we're gonna now try it out in game. Because you know, even though we won't have our, like, you know, custom bossbar that we've made together, we should already have this bossbar existing, right? So we can try out this bossbar, and then if this bossbar works, we'll make our own with it, right? Okay, let's try it out now. Alright, so I have, you know, reset my Resourcepack, everything is good, and now what I want to try is setting this bossbar that we made earlier in the video to be my custom bossbar, right? So the way that I do that is by saying bossbar set, then the name of the bossbar, and then saying, well, I, you know, want to change the name, not the value, not the style, none of that. I want to set the name, and I'm saying this, which is a whole lot of text at one point, but bear with me. This is obviously just a character again, right? Simple. Over here, I'm specifying which font it should use, and this is right here my namespace, and right here is just my file again. Don't look at that. My chair wasn't eating me. You know, and past that point, this thing is literally just referring to, if I click this, you know, this file. So it says namespace and then file. Doesn't have a file extension, but it you know, doesn't need it, right? Because it can only ever use the same type of file. But yeah, this is just the file path to your font. So if I press enter on this, bam! You know, that's already pretty cool, but you can tell that some things are off. Basically, it, you know, is blue. That's the main thing. If it was red, you could see that it makes a lot more sense. But since this is my template and I want to actually change it, I'm gonna keep it on blue, and I'm just gonna make a blue variant of this boss bar, and I'm gonna just call it quits there because I'm not gonna make an entire boss bar just for a video. Sorry, people, but yeah, yes, that's basically that. It's literally that simple. But there are a couple of things that you should note. Main one being, you can see if I, you know, don't zoom in because I can't, really. You can see this, you know, darker line at the end. That is because this is actually text, which has a shadow, which means that this all has a shadow on this side, which doesn't ruin the whole mechanic, but it is something you should keep in mind when making it, because it can make some things look weird and not like what your texture looks like. So you should keep that in mind, but still it looks quite decent and you probably didn't even notice. Right, but yeah. Anyway, on to changing this texture now. Okay, so we're obviously, you know, back here in the Visual Studio Code, and what we obviously want to change is this file, right? Because this is the overlay which we need to change. So what we're gonna do is right click here and say reveal in File Explorer, which just, you know, opens this, where you can now just, you know, open the file like normal. And then here we can just edit it with our, you know, image editor, and it's really quite that simple. So now what I think I'll say is just something along the lines of this, right? So just, you know, changing the color just like that. I think I also want these sections to be slightly brighter, So not that. So something like that, and you know, this will be fine for now. Like, you know, I could also just make a whole new thing, you know, just draw random stuff on it, and that would also work. But, you know, that's a lot of work, and, you know, I already have made this, so I might as well just use it. Now, as per this text, that's obviously not accurate anymore, because it's totally not about me anymore. So I'm going to explain how to change that text, but I want to first show that this change actually changes the boss bar. So yeah, let's really quickly look at the game now. Okay, so now I'm obviously back in the game. And you can see the boss bar up here. Now, seeing as I saved my file and everything, all I should have to do is refresh my Resourcepack by pressing F3T, and then let it do its magic. So let's do that. And there we go. You see now I've got my custom boss bar with the, you know, changes that I did. Now it's blue instead of red. Massive change. Yeah, you can really do quite a lot with this. But yeah, what I did say was that I would also show how to actually change the text. The easiest way of basically, obviously, you could also just draw your text in your own way. But the easiest way of doing it is by saying just, you know, like, hey, witchery, and then taking a screenshot of this, right? Just, you know, if you take a screenshot right here, bam, that then has that exact text, just right there in that file. However, right now I have a specific GUI scale, which actually upped the size of it. So right now, what should be 1 pixel is 2 pixels. So I go to Options, Video Settings, and here you see GUI Scale. I'm just going to make it the smallest possible. And then I say Command Witchery, and take a screenshot of that. And there we go, that's going to be our text. So now if we click on that, right here, you know, the super cool text, and that then opens our screenshot. And then we can just go once again in our editor and change how that looks, you know, and copy what we need to. So let's quickly do that. Okay, so here we are in the screenshot that I took earlier. The second one, as you can tell by the fact that this boss bar is absolutely tiny. Okay, so now right here inside of my chat, I obviously have the exact name that I wanted. And you can tell that this 1 pixel is in fact 1 pixel here. So now what I want to do is select it so that I only have this text, obviously, because I don't want to copy anything else. And I'll just say, hey, yeah, go to selection. And then, well, obviously I now have this, which is the selection of everything I need, but I still have the background. So now what I want to use is this, like, magic wand tool to only have this color. And then I'll just do it again. Now you can tell I've got my cool text, but now it's still in a weird color, being the default color. So I'm gonna change this to being this random blue that I picked for no reason. If you want to put a lot more effort into it, yes, you can. And I wanna put it here, of course, right? But now you can see if I put this like here, it obviously removes stuff. So what I'm gonna do is make a second layer by clicking this button, you know, add a new layer, and just pasting it in, right? Now I can move it around a bit, find the absolutely perfect location for it to go. Normally I'd spend a lot more time trying to figure out what the best location is, but you know, for the moment, this is fine, right? And now what I need is to obviously remove this old color, right? So I'll just use the magic wand tool again and say delete. And now smash down these layers, save, and this is now my brand new boss bar with a different colored name, with a different name, right? and it's really quite that simple. Obviously, you can also make this name, you know, non-existent. You could make this name anything, really. You could even say that I want these leathers to be, you know, significantly different. Anything really works, right? I just find that generally it's the nicest when it's just the default Minecraft font, because I don't feel like I need to change the name. I feel like I can just keep the name the same and just add a lot to the boss bar itself, right? But yeah, that is basically that. So yeah, let's really quickly look at it in game, and then get on with just some random other notes. Okay, so now, well, since we're in game, what I can say is once again just reset my Resourcepack with F3T. And there we go, you can see now it's completely different. Obviously it's still the same premise, but you know, you wouldn't have kept it that way. But yeah, with that done, your custom boss bar is basically completely finished. So yeah, I hope you have fun with it. And yeah, without further ado, I guess that this is the end of the real tutorial section, and now I would like to just showcase what you can do if you really take this really far. But seeing as that's generally quite complex, I'll not really explain how I did it to the biggest of degrees. But just, you know, if you want to, like, if you think, wow, this really looks cool, you can just go to my Discord, go to my help channel, and just ask there. Same if you have run into any errors while doing this, just go to my help channel. So yeah. Let's go ahead and show some things that I've made. Okay. Yeah, I'm now in a super flat world, and I have a slight monster behind me, but you know, that's not really the point of this video. What you can see is that I made this boss bar, and that it's actually animated. Obviously the boss bar itself isn't the best, because this is still kind of in a concept like how would it look if I made it animated. So, you know, while I like the style of the boss bar, I don't really like the fires, you know. But, you know, this, you know, a first attempt generally looks worse than what you eventually will make. But yeah, I do really like the concept, right? So the way that I did this was simply by replacing, instead of just some random character, I replaced 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then I had a score, which was shown in the thingy right here with the different fonts, which, you know, is complicated, but it's really quite cool. And that way I don't dynamically have a boss bar constantly change, and if I want to add another frame, all I would have to do is replace another number and say that my score should go up until 4 instead of, you know, 3. But yeah, that's basically that for this boss bar. And I mean, I also have made a lot of other boss bars. Basically every single boss datapack that I've made, I added the custom boss bar, because once I figured out how to do them, I really like them. Because, you know, I figured out how to do these, and it's really quite cool. But yeah, with that all said and done, I guess that's that for the showcases. Oh, by the way, if I might eventually also do a tutorial on how to make these super cool, like, moving bosses and stuff. But for the moment, I won't, because the program that I use, the plugin for Blockbench, that's still in a closed beta. So it's not all that logical to make a tutorial for something that's still due to change. But yeah, once it's like fully released, I probably will make a tutorial video for it. But yeah, without that all said and done, onto the boring section of the video. So yeah. Okay, so, with that all, said and done, this is kind of the end of the tutorial. And, I'd just like to talk about a few stuff now. So yeah, so the more observant of you might have noticed the fact that I've had a plethora of skins throughout this tutorial. That is because of the amount of time that it took me to make this tutorial, and I'm not keeping the same skin on for too long of a time. I switched them basically every single week. So yeah, other than that, you might also notice that my plant is gone, and that's been gone for the last few clips. I don't know, most of the clips weren't recorded in the school class thing. Yeah, that is for a simple reason. Someone insulted my floors in the comment section below, saying that, you know, imagine not having a wood floor, and well, it really hurt me. And well, I was like, how can I possibly fix this? And obviously making it a wooden floor cannot possibly ever help. So I might have gone slightly overboard, and which study isn't also the reason why this is later. And I made a new classroom. But one of the side effects is that this plant kind of looks different. But yeah, let's just go to the other classroom, which kind of already existed for the last few clips, but just for continuity, I decided to keep the other ones also recorded here. Okay, so here it is. Admittedly, maybe I listened to the fact that there wasn't enough wood in my last classroom, just a tad too much. But yeah, I do really like it. So first of all, I've got this pedestal-like thing that you can stand on, and I can just like move around nicely, which is gonna take some getting used to because, well, in my first videos in my old classroom, I already had trouble moving my head whenever I was talking. And now I'm gonna have to also balance, you know, dancing and moving around. But yeah, I think it'll, you know, end up being quite cool. Then, obviously, there's some, you know, empty spaces behind me and, you know, stuff that still is able to be added. I will, obviously, just like my old classroom, keep on adding more stuff, and I've already got a bunch of stuff planned. But yeah, that's basically that. Also, here I have enough space for there to be multiple angles, so what I can also do is this, and then you're over there now, and I can also say you're over here again, and I can add more if I ever need a specific angle, but I think that this is already pretty good. So this is like hello, and then I can be like, you know, so I'll explain more about that right now. Okay, you know, like that. You get it? So that it's obvious where one clip ends and where one begins. So yeah, I think that'll be quite cool. Also, I've got really big plants, and I replaced the exact same block as my old plant, which has as a side effect that my old plant kind of was 3 blocks tall, and inside of my desk. But yeah, it's fine. It looks good over here, doesn't look good over there. But yeah, with that all kind of said and done in a way too long fashion, I guess that is that. And I guess I'll just go out this door now in a really awesome fashion. Let me switch to the other camera view and then do it again. Yeah, look. Yeah, bye. I had to use the door again. Like, come on, this looks so awesome. Right, okay, anyway, I'm going now. Bye.